the Chief Officer at Biddulph Town Council. We have been trying for a number of years to increase the amount of public art that is in the town. And one of the projects that we're currently working on is at Station Road site, just over the road. So you'll know that there are 3 circles there, and there's one that looks a bit overgrown at the moment. It's got soil in it, and that is the site of our new project. And we have planning permission to create a piece within that circle, and what we are hoping to do is to celebrate industry in the town that has helped to make this town, helped to inspire the people who live here. So we're thinking about the forges and the textiles, the mills, industries that represent women in the town, including nursing. So we've a rich history of transport in the town, farming, of course, the blue dye works, quarrying as well. All of those things we don't want to be forgotten, and so we'd like to create a piece of art, which Philip's going to talk to you in more detail about, that celebrates those industries in the town. And we're also working with younger children, and recently at Kingsfield First School, and they are creating pieces that will go on this sculpture, which represent how they feel about Biddulph now and what they want to celebrate about the town. And so we really want you to be involved in this piece of work.
I'm amazed at the amount of people that are here. It's obviously a very successful group of people, and I really want you guys to get involved in this project, because you know more about Biddulph than I do. I mean, I live in Packmore, which isn't too far away. I use Biddulph. I come shopping here a lot, and it's an important place for me. I've got a folder here that shows what the bench will look like. It's this piece here. And what the piece is about is celebrating Biddulph in a really positive way. I want you guys to make tiles to go on this piece of work. And it's going to last for a long time. I've got lots of work in this area I did 30 years ago, and it's not been touched. It's beautifully preserved. Because generally what this is about teamwork. It's about people working together to create something very special. And you're the people that make it special. I've worked with 20 first school students from Kingsfield Primary School, and I'm also working with the Historical Society and councillors to produce the work. It's going to be a very positive project. This just gives you some idea of what the tiles look like when they're finished. So it'll have "Welcome to Biddulph" on, and it's a place of contemplation. It's a place you can go and sit and feel relaxed, for young people and older people. The more ideas you guys come up with, the better this piece will be, and the more it will be respected and looked after.
So today we are very fortunate that we've got Philip Hardacre in with us. We're making a stamp and we're making our mark on a bench that he's hoping to create. The children have taken inspiration from Biddulph and the surrounding area with their nature and the animals, fish, etc. And they're putting their designs onto tiles that will be included in his piece of work.
This is the very first stage of the project, where the children do the design onto the clay. I take the clay back to my studio, fire it, and then bring it back to those same children so they can paint the exact colours that they want on their piece of work, so that they've got ownership on the work all the way through. Could you get me the letters for the word Grace, your name? We need to get all the letters out of this box so that you can find the right ones. These are very old, these letters are 100 years old. Have you got the C, Grace? I hope you know how to spell your name. And the E. Lovely.
You are?
Because it rains a lot these days.
See, curly cut. Do it a bit neater. My goodness me, what a beautiful drawing. That's fantastic.
Oh, you didn't even put that down.
I'm just putting a bit more detail in your rose to when you put the colour on.
Yes.
The colour will go in all these little indentations. That gives it a really neat edge.
This was an epic place. Why was it? It's a beehive. It's attached to a tree. There's some bees in it.
This gives it a really nice edge.
Something underneath it and not just stuff around it.
It's a sunflower.
We're really excited to be part of this project and to have been chosen. Our children have absolutely loved this opportunity this afternoon to create their sculptures and to be a part of Biddulph's history going forward. So yeah, thank you so much, and we've really enjoyed it. Thank you.
The project is really important for Biddulph. We haven't got a lot of public art, and we wanted to work with really, I would say, he's world-renowned. Everybody locally knows who Philip Hardacre is. He's a fabulous artist, and we've taken his ideas and our ideas and merged them into something that we hope that people will be proud of for the future.
And it's that you lay the drawing on top of the clay and you trace the design through. Then you take the drawing off and you redraw it in really carefully to get all the detail. You get a tool like this and very carefully draw in exactly what you can see onto the tile. And then you can have, if it's a baker's bus, you can have baker's buses there, and we can use the lettering. I've got different size lettering to put script on. The letters for Biddulph.
I can't find an M that's the right size. It's too big though, it doesn't match that one, does it? I don't think. So that's the PMT garage where my dad used to work, so I'm going to do that because that is where people used to work in Biddulph.
Yeah.
It's a power press made by Crowleyshire Walker, which was a 100-year-old company, but unfortunately it failed in 1979. There were 600 employees.
Just photocopy it and use the photocopy to produce the tile. So what you do very carefully, draw exactly what you can see, like the crown. Make sure your drawing doesn't move about, keep it in the same position, and then take it away, and then you can draw all a lot more detail in of each little bit. The more meticulous you are, the better the tile will be. I'm going to give you this sharp scowl for
we both were investing significant.
Impressed with this. I'm just so impressed with that.
I know, wasn't that come out beautiful?
This is a first touring high floor coach from 1982.
It's a bit like embroidery, really. What you're doing is you're putting the image on the clay, and when you've done your drawing, take your drawing away and then redraw it in a bit neater with that, okay?
Do we have any more of the...
The neater you do it, the better it will look. This is my third kiln firing for this project. What I do is I put it on the night before to take it up to 100 degrees just to dry the stuff out. It's completely dry and ready to fire now. This firing is going to cost me £30. My energy bills have gone up threefold in the last 2 years. This cone indicates the temperature. When it gets the right temperature, 1000 degrees bisque firing, this pyrometer falls down and you know when to turn the kiln off. Right, close the door. And it's on about 120 degrees. It's 8:30 in the morning and the kiln will be off about 7:30 tonight, and then I can open it tomorrow morning, unpack it and take all the work back to the the participants so they decorate their own work. It's really important that people make their own work, design their own work, and decorate their own work, so they've got ownership on that tile all the way through from start to finish. I go back to Biddulph to decorate the tiles that the councillors and the Historic Society made, and I also go back to the youth club which I worked at a couple of weeks ago, and they'll be decorating their tiles, and then after the second firing those tiles are ready to stick on the piece of work. These are finished tiles now, so these are fully fired to 1250 degrees centigrade, and they're ready to stick on the piece of work. These tiles are made by the children of Kingsfield Primary School in Biddulph. I've been back to that school now and they've decorated their own tiles. These have now been fired and finished and they're ready to go into the finished piece of work. The thing about it is it's about collective teamwork. It's about everybody contributing towards the end project. This is the piece of work built dry. It's ready to transport to Biddulph and be put together and cemented together. You won't see any of this concrete blocks, they're all covered up with beautiful tiles. Yeah, I saved this about 15 years ago from a school in Tunstall that got knocked down, and if I hadn't have saved it, it would have been just gone into the demolition. So that's going to go around the top of the piece of work. I just want to say thank you so much for coming to this event and celebrating. The more people that celebrate this piece of work, the better chance of surviving. So thank you so much for coming to
Every now and again you come across something which is absolutely phenomenal. We always think they're in other places. This time it's in Biddulph. I mean, this is an absolute permanent artwork structure which reflects everything which this town and this community stands for, and everything which this town and community is good for. The amount of people who've been involved in putting this together, the amount of personal ownership of the individual residents and travellers from afar who've been involved in putting this together, it's that which needs applauding. Without the help and the involvement of our community in this wonderful little town which we've got, something like this wouldn't happen. I'd like to thank Philip, I'd like to thank Judy for making this an absolute special occasion, but most of all I'd like to thank the children and townsfolk of Biddulph who actually helped to make this happen. Thank you very much.
When the light that's lost within us reaches the sky, some of them were angry.
This is your
at
bench.
the way the earth was abused by the man who learned how to forge her beauty into power. And they struggled in the final hour. And when the sand was gone and the time arrived, in the naked dawn only a few survived. And in an attempt to understand a thing so simple and so huge, believed that they were meant to live after the deluge. Let the music keep our spirits